Alright guys, we have the second of our two EZAs, next up being AGL transforming Cell. We do have him at 69% at 1 dupe at level 10 links. I do have him on half a 220% lead. We're on the Tech Buhan's 200% lead, the new Dokkan Fest Strength Cell's 220 lead, and we're starting them off on not a bad rotation. I mean, we have 4 out of the full 7 links active, Big Bad Bosses being one of the main ones that we want. He is starting with a 757k attack stat, 357k defense right now, which is pretty decent, if I do say so myself. That is quite juicy. And we're starting the turn with Ki +1, attack and defense plus 250%. On super attack, just like the Goku portion of the Goku Gohan exchange unit, so we'll be stacking attack by 50% every time he super attacks, and then 50% defense for the turn. He does have a base chance of 50% chance to dodge, so hopefully we'll see some of that now. And then when attacking with 12 or more ki, which he'll be doing all the time like we are now, he'll gain an extra 170% attack and defense. I wanted to hop back into this red zone stage, that way we could see Cell at his very best, because we are facing 2 or more enemies throughout the entirety of this stage until second form Cell at the very end. 20 mil he's starting with. Wow, that's not even partnered, and we got the additional, so that's a 2 stack. 21 mil as well, just shy of 30. 21 mil. Damn. I mean, overall, I'm sticking with the Goku Exchange Gohan unit is better, but starting at 20 mil and Cell's a stacker himself. See, this is the annoying part, is the domain's active, but it's active away from AGL transforming Cell. Now, I need Bootanks to dodge because I want to get Strength Cell, of course, with AGL Cell. Now, if we had dual Dokkan Fest Strength Perfect Cells right now, I wouldn't have to worry about the domain running out. Although, if we did have them start on the same turn, we could actually have the domain active throughout the entirety of the event, throughout the entirety of AGL Cell's transformations, which I think is really sick. So the fact you can do that with one Strength Cell in his domain, I think is pretty cool, because starting in base, that's going to be AGL Cell's weakest form. And then you have the domain essentially backing him up throughout the entirety of his transformations, then at his very best. Sure, because I don't have my own Strength Cell and only have one, I'd only be able to have it beneficial to me for like a turn, maybe 2. But then if you had 2, you can then activate the second one's domain, and then you just keep going. Which I think is pretty sick, the fact, as I said, it lasts throughout the entirety of his transformations, and then also you could have it going at its very best. But at least we, for one turn anyway, got to see base form Cell facing 2 or more enemies, which is again why I wanted to bring him in here, because then he gets the 80% attack and defense, he gets 18% chance to crit, 18% chance to dodge, which goes up to a total in base of what, 68% chance to dodge. Although there isn't too much difficult content in the entire game where you're going to be facing multiple enemies at once, aside from some of the earlier red zone stages in a red zone event. So I kind of wanted to show it off a little bit, but it's probably hardly going to be ever active when you're testing units out against, say, Jiren, Goku, Vegeta in red zone, etc. And then of course you have the when facing 3 or more enemies portion of his passive, which unless you do an SBR or ESBR, you're probably never ever going to see that, which is a massive shame, because you do miss out on 70% attack and defense, 17% chance to crit, 17% chance to dodge, which in total, it's a lot of dodge chance to miss out on. Like all in all together. And then when his HP is 50% or more, which we got to see, Cell will also have Ki +2, an additional with 50% chance of becoming a super attack, along with 17% damage reduction, 17% crit chance, and 17% chance to dodge, which combine that with facing all the multiple enemies, so that's a lot of dodge chance. A lot of dodge chance to miss out on. which I said I think is a massive shame. But as I said, unfortunately, when are you going to be facing that many enemies in an event unless it's in the early stages of a red zone? Because typically the final stage doesn't have multiple enemies or separate multiple enemies like we have now. Or unless you're doing like SBR, ESBR. But I think that's a shame. So we're still stacking by 50% on attack. We're still raising defense by 50%. And he's already up to a 2.52? Or was that 2.62? 2.62. 2.62 million attack stat. And he's only super attacked twice. 594k defense as well. Damn. I'm not gonna lie, this cell's cooking. This cell is cooking. Now again, I do believe, regardless, that the Goku and Gohan is the better unit overall, especially once you get Gohan out. But Cell is performing way better. 42 mil! I mean, to be fair, we do have the domain up. I just don't have him next to Strength Cell. 44.9! Is this the power of Dokkan Fest Strength Cell's domain? And there's the dodge as well. That's crazy. 40 mil and we're still stacking. I mean, we are going to transform again next turn, but... Look, Dokkan Fest Strength Cell is a very solid unit, right? He does benefit a lot from dupes. 55%, he's a little bit meh. But his domain and what he's providing to other units, especially this AGL transforming cell, I said we're over 40 mil and we're technically still stacking. I know from the next attacking turn, we're going to stop stacking because they're going to transform, or he's going to transform. But over 40 mil. That's insane. And again, we're not even in his strongest form. I mean, right now, let me quickly go through it. Second form Zell is on Ki +2, 280% attacking defense, guaranteed guard, 17% damage reduction, 17% chance to crit, 17% dodge chance. When attacking with 12 or more Ki, 180 attacking defense. When facing 2 or more enemies, which of course we was doing there, 120 attacking defense and 18% crit chance and dodge chance. And then on top of that, as long as our HP is at 50% or more, which of course it was, we got an extra Ki +1, an additional which has a 50% chance to become a super attack, 18% damage reduction, crit chance, and dodge chance. And then to finish off, I said we will transform from the next attacking turn, where Cell will be at his best. I mean, I must have underestimated Cell, because I said he looked good. I said he looked solid, like, probably be him at best. But with Dokkan Fest Strength Cell's domain, which of course I can still use, and he's not on a full 220 lead, so we can actually get a little bit better. And of course, if I had him rainbowed or more dupes. But with just one 220 lead, he's on half a 220 lead. With one of them and the domain up, even in second form, while he wasn't at his best, while he wasn't perfect just yet, and still stacking, 40 mil. Over a 40 mil attack stat. We might as well pop this. Over a 40 mil attack stat. That's wild. He really is perfect. So right now, fully transformed, last turn of the domain, we finally have him next to Strength Cell. 3.61 million attack stat, 686k defense. He no longer stacks now, unfortunately. 50% attack and defense for the one turn. Ki +3, 400% attack and defense. He now has a base standard 35% damage reduction, crit, and also dodge. For 3 turns from entry, also has guard, which I think is very nice. And then with 12 or more Ki, we'll get 180% attack and defense. Actually, do we lose any links from doing this? No, because it's Attack of the Clones, so we're good. And then as long as our HP is at 50% or more, which it is, he'll have a built-in additional with a 70% chance of becoming a super attack, and a 35% chance to crit, and 35% damage reduction on top of that, which means Cell has a total of 70% chance to crit, which, from what I've been seeing with Domain active, he's definitely going to be doing some damage. And then not only that, he'll also have a 70% chance to dodge, which to go with damage reduction and 3 turn of guard is very nice. But I think I underestimated him a little bit. I think he's a lot better than I thought he was. 46.2 mil. Bro, I am so sorry. He really is perfect Cell. He is perfect. Oh my god. Flex on him. Dodge. Hello. He's a lot better than I thought he was going to be. I knew he was going to be good. I just didn't realize he was going to be this good. I mean, this is how good he can be under Strength Cell's domain. And again, he can get a little bit better if I had dual Strength Cell leads. Now, I'll be really intrigued to see what numbers he's putting out when the domain isn't active. I mean, it's going to be quite a bit less, but it's not going to be like 20 mil. But he is a lot better than I thought he was going to be. He's still pulling out that dodge as well. A lot better than I thought he was going to be. He's very good. This is a fantastic EZA. It's just a shame that Strength Cell isn't a bit better than he is. Like, he's good, but I do think he could have been a bit better. I think overall, I definitely underestimated AGL transforming Cell. He's very good. Like, he's an amazing EZA, especially under, as I said, Strength Cell's domain. I do think Goku and Gohan are the more complete unit, though. Gohan almost seems unkillable once you exchange him out. But Cell he's a lot better than I gave him credit for. I'm so sorry, Cell. You're actually an amazing EZA. You are very, very good. I wish I could run you under dual Strength Cells rather than one. But even just under one, I'm very impressed. He's sick. He is very, very good. We still have the Rage mode to come, which, unless we drop down to 50% HP, unfortunately, we won't be able to trigger the Rage mode, which I'm overly not really bothered about because all it is just an usher. It's a free turn of doing, you know, probably pretty decent chip damage. You know, in Rage mode. Actually, we might get it. We're on 52% HP, so we're actually very, very close. Although we do have a team full of quite a few healers. So we'll see if we'll get there. But in Rage mode, all he gets is Key +3, 200% attack, guaranteed crit. And he does raise attack by 50% temporarily. So as I said, it's pretty much going to be a free turn of doing some pretty noticeable and considerable chip damage. As I said, I'm not overly bothered if I don't get it. It would be nice to see, but I'm not bothered if I don't. So, you know, if things ever get a little bit techie and, you know, you need to do some extra damage, you know, you want a breather, pop that and you could actually do some pretty noticeable and decent chip damage from Cell when he's in Rage mode. But overall, Cell is very good. Very, very good. I mean, I don't think we're going to do enough damage to get the kill. No, just about. Just about-ish. And we have a little bit too much health to get the Rage mode, and we've healed most of it back. So, domain has worn off. Cell still has 6 out of 7 links active. He's now on a 2.52 million attack stat, 518k defense. It's still good. It is still good. But we're going to see how he does without the domain currently active. We're going to take a massive dip, obviously, naturally. But his numbers are still going to be pretty strong. There's the 70% chance to dodge. Didn't get it that time. 179 on the AoE. Bit much, but I mean, he does have type disadvantage, so it's to be expected. Still putting out 32.3 mil. Can't knock it. He's still putting out 32.3 mil. And there's also the 70% chance to crit in total. Up to 34 on the additional. So yeah, while there is a massive drop-off when the domain's gone, he's still putting out some good numbers. And with that 70% chance to crit, you're looking at 25, 26 million on a crit. So he's still doing massive amounts of damage. Overall, I'm very, very impressed. Definitely underestimated how good this Cell is, especially with Dokkan Fest Strength Cell's domain being up, and he wasn't even on a full 220 lead. Yes, it's not much he's missing out on, but still, there is a little bit more to come from him. He is very, very good. As I said before, I do think Goku and Gohan are the slightly better EZA. They do seem a bit more complete. But he's very good nonetheless. And I said I definitely underestimated him. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a great rest of your day. And peace.